Alright, so I did that introductory video for beginners in Airsoft the other day, and I was saying, Crytek's the way to go, and then I shot the Crytek on an 11.1, and of course anyone that saw that's like, oh yeah, I definitely want my gun to shoot like that. Yes, that's if it has a MOSFET, and you can use an 11.1. I wasn't really thinking about the economical part of it. Crytek's can be a little expensive. So let me just take it down a notch to GnG. That's kind of where I started. This is probably the first gun I bought. Most of the GnG Combat Machines, that's like the most well-known GnG M4 style rifle, AR-15 style, SBR, pretty much short-barreled rifle, quad rail, meaning all four sides of the handguard have a rail on it, a Picatinny rail for mounting optics, flashlights, handguards, whatever you want to do. I have a sling on this rifle. This thing has been great, I mean, it's probably the cheapest gun I have, but it's made out of metal. So the GnG Combat Machine, you're going to see a lot of them. I believe it says CM. The CMs usually have a painted white combat machine thing, and they're usually plastic. The GCs are metal, and it's just kind of that's etched in there, okay? And obviously everything on this is fake. The charging handle doesn't do nothing. The forward assist doesn't do anything. The only thing that, and also even pulling back the charging handle doesn't open the damn dust cover. You have to open it, and there's your hop up. But very easy to get to the hop up. Get in there, and you can adjust your hop up. GnG, very simple. I have never had to go into the gearbox. I've never had to mess with the motor. Knock on wood. This gun runs best on a 9.6. I really wouldn't put anything heavier, stronger in this. There's no MOSFET on this gun. Of course, being a version 2 gearbox, you can do whatever upgrades you want to it. But we're talking about beginners here. So you go and you get yourself a GnG Combat Machine, whether it is the plastic one or the metal one. And if they're the way they used to be, it's probably going to run on a nunchuck that goes into the stock like this. So, hold on a second. So the way these style of rifles get power is, this is the bottom of the stock, okay? This is called a nunchuck battery. It's 9.6 volts. Put one on each side like that. Make sure your wires aren't getting hung up on anything, because you might want to open your stock. Sorry. And then you connect these are called small Tamiya connectors. There's a square and a circle. Not too hard to figure out. Connect them. Then your gun will be ready to shoot. I'm going to give you a little bit of a shooting tutorial, but I just wanted to think if there's anything else. So nowadays, a lot of the guns have been moved up to a different connector called Dean's, but most of the time, the gun itself will have a Dean style connector. I myself have, you can also, just like with anything else, you can go from Tamiya to Dean's. They sell adapters. Don't worry, it's not impossible. Everything is possible. You get your batteries in there, and you can put this cap on there. It holds them in there. I have another piece. I don't know what I did with it, but I have another piece that sits on there that holds them in there pretty well if I'm just practicing at home. But this butt cap, when this goes on there, this is for when you're playing in the field. That thing is not going to open. It snaps in there nice and tight. GnG, you're going to see it's not going to shoot as fast or as hard because it's running on 9.6, and of course it's not made as well as a Crytek, but for the cost, this is a great gun for a beginner. I have nothing bad to say about it. Yes, people are going to be like, GnG sucks. Well, I'm talking about somebody who first gets into Airsoft and wants a decent gun. Combat Machine by GnG. If you can afford the metal one, go for it. A little more realism. I'm sure the polymer body one performs just the same. It's not like it's taking a beating from lead explosions. I'm sorry, from explosions taking place in the receiver. There's no lead going down the barrel. All right, it's just a gun shooting 6mm pieces of plastic. Well, get hit by one and you might change your mind on that. Feels more like ceramic. But either way, also, guys, wear eye pro and protect your faces. I've seen people lose teeth. I've seen people get BBs stuck under their skin. And I also am able to put shots right through drywall. And I think skin is softer than drywall. So, yes, it might be called Airsoft, but they're not soft, okay? Just always be smart. Never point the gun at somebody unless you're playing the game and they have, goggles and protective gear on. Just like with regular, real steel, safety stuff. You always pretend, act as though the gun's loaded, so you never point it at anybody. Just don't be stupid. If you change out the orange muzzle, which I don't leave those orange muzzles on there because they're really for customs, so the customs can quickly get them through because they're dealing with millions of packages. They don't sell the H&K licensed pellet rifle that looks just like a 416. They don't sell that with an orange tip. Or the H&K style pellet MP5. They don't sell that with an orange tip. And those things both sling pellets at a very fast FPS, probably 3 times faster than this thing. So the orange tip thing is just a silly customs thing. But still, kids, parents, this looks like a real gun. Even though it's a GnG, and everybody knows that no regular civvy can have a fully automatic gun. Also, a real AR-15 won't go in safe unless it's been charged, and this is a battery-operated gun. This is my little spiel on safety. Don't be stupid. Don't bring this thing out into your neighborhood. Don't bring it out into public. Don't try to make other people think you have a real gun, because the cops or some other person might not know, okay? And I'm not trying to sound like one of those old dudes ruining your fun. Have fun. Shoot in your yard. Shoot in your basement like I do. Alright? My wife hates it. But whatever. I think it's fun. And I'm old. Alright? I'm doing this for the youth and for the parents of the youth, though. I said the other day, Crytek is awesome. Yep, it's fun. It's awesome. It's fast. GnG, you might save a couple $100 buying your first gun. Going with a GnG. And now, I'm going to shoot it real quick after all that time. Hey, there's the fresh GnG target. Alright, so this is what a GnG Combat Machine going to sound like after about 5-6 years. It's not going to sound as nice as some of those other ones, but here we go. Some single shot, then we'll move it on over. Can't really see me too well, can you? Not that any of you really want to, right? Obviously, I had a small issue going back into semi there for a second. You know what? The gun's been around a while. I would say it performed really well. It let me go back into full. I did another burst, and then it let me go back into semi for the last couple of shots. Um, you know, it should not happen. I know another trick to fix that, but I would have had to like disconnect the battery real quick. So if that type of shit happens, throw the gun back into full. Try going back down to safe, then back into semi. Sometimes these electric powered ones, there is a gearbox in here, and things can get hung up. And one other thing, after shooting a bunch of shots on full, there's a spring in here that's getting compressed a lot. You always want to do 1 or 2 shots on the semi single shot, just to relax that spring. That's what I've been told. And of course, a nice destroyed target. It's always fulfilling. I don't care how old you are. It's fun.